Hello everybody, welcome back to the Hall of Anime. This is Dawson, and we are going to continue off on Katawa Shoujo from where we left. So let's jump into it. I'm sorry if there's a little bit of humming in the background, which there... Oh shit. I fucking clicked the wrong thing. Main menu. Yes. Okay, let's continue off. Clicked the wrong thing. What was I just gonna say? Damn, I don't remember. Oh, if you hear a little bit of humming in the background, I have my fan on. It is very hot, pretty humid in my room, so I turned on the fan and got it started. Anyways, during the afternoon class, the long-haired girl comes back and sits down in the seat without a word. Again, no one seems to notice, or if they do, no one says anything. I want to ask Misha about it, but I don't want us to be nosy. After school, Shizune and Misha quickly find me by the first floor lobby and latch on to me, covering each flank in case I might try to escape. I feel a little offended, but I'd bench considering it. Nevertheless, I'm a bit disturbed that enough people have made a break for it in the past that they're on their guard. What's with the escort? This doesn't make me feel very comfortable. In fact, it makes me feel like a dangerous prisoner being transported to a cell. What's wrong, Hee-chan? That's right. We're just going to go play a game of Risk. Remember? I don't know, Misha. This all seems a little sinister to me. I started thinking that when we sit down to play a game, they'll tie me down and torture me until I agree to join the student council. Well, that's highly unlikely, but still, for some reason, it just seems like it would be so plausible. Getting to the student council room is as simple as turning 2 corners from where we started. What? That's it? This makes you guys being so on top of me seem a little silly. That's not true, Hee-chan. She-chan says that when their life is threatened, people haven't shown the capability to pull off superhuman bursts of speed. Life is threatened. Her expression unchanging. Sorry about that. Her expression unchanging. Misha signs something amusing to show. Amusedly to Shizune, there we go, who makes a baffling face and puts her hands behind her back, looking pleased with herself. Misha finds defense and hums cheerily. Stop that. I know you heard me. You have no excuse, unlike Shizune. Shizune opens the door in the student council room to the student council room. It's a very plain, sparsely decorated room. Although it is quite large, maybe even a little larger than a classroom. There's a big table in the center, surrounded by chairs and small desks, prominently placed in the back, that I assume is Shizune's. There are a few regular desks and a chair. Damn it. Aside from the table and chair, the room doesn't have much else to offer, just a couple of filling cabinets and bookshelves stacked with old school records and documents. Not much else, in fact, nothing else. This is a pretty bleak room. They could at least put a potted plant in here or something, but the most not- noticeable, the most noticeable thing that this room doesn't have is other people. Are we early? No. What do you mean, no? Does it mean nobody else is coming today? Yeah, that's right. Before I manage to ask why that's the case, Shizune claps her hands together very energetically. Hee-chan, let's play Risk. Come on, you promised, didn't you? You have to. Ha ha ha. Okay. Do you want to know the rules? We can explain to you while we set everything up. While Misha's talking, Shizune takes out what looks like a board game from behind one of the filling cabinets and throws it on the table. Actually, this looks kind of interesting. After Misha spends a little too long for her liking running through the basics with a somewhat vaguer and confusing tutorial, Shizune cuts in and declares the game has started with a decisive motion, slicing her arm through the air. Shizune's aggressiveness is rubbing off onto me. I start feeling more competitive than I intended to be when I agreed to this. Halfway into the game, while I tried to pound how to defend against Shizune's assaults from two fronts, she breaks my concentration by drumming her fingers in the table to get my attention. Hee-chan, Shi-chan wants you to know that you are taking too long to make a move. Shi-chan also said that she let you keep Australia if you agree to join the student council. I thought this was a game with no strings attached. Just the fact that she would dangle that over my head is an offer, meaning that she knows I care about the outcome of this game. And anyone in any way, no. Shi-chan admires your fighting spirit and would be benevolent dictator who will spare your people if you agree to join the student council. You're so competitive, Shizune. She seems to take this as a compliment. I would expect the student council president to be a little more magnanimous. Okay. Magnanimous. She doesn't seem to know what that word means, or how it's signed. She pulls out a piece of paper and writes it for Shizune, who in return signs it back to Misha. Misha presses her index finger against her temples as if trying to physically imprint the word into her memory. Suddenly, Shizune bursts into a flurry of gestures. Misha, look down by the pace of her heart is heated signing. Oh, wait, please slow down, Shi-chan. Hee-chan, Shi-chan says you're going to lose. Tell her, I will crush her world empire with my rebellion. Ah, okay. Those eyes of hers shine with childlike mischief. She says you have no chance if you keep playing this game. No, you won't. She is either really mocking me or trying to trick me. Oh fuck, I didn't even ponder that. I have nothing else to lose there, so I might as well try something different. Maybe if I spread out my forces and try to control more territories, I can recoup the advantage. Shizune seems to focus on conquering whole nations, so maybe I can sacrifice my hold on continents to gain more small countries. It's worth a shot. A few turns later, I end up losing the game anyway. Shizune adjusts her glasses victoriously and allows herself to tentatively pump a fist in the air in celebration. I win, yay! There's no need to translate that, it's pretty clear. Don't look so sad, Hee-chan. You were really giving it your best shot. That's what I thought. Sometimes your best isn't good enough. Though if anyone knows that, it's me. You did very well for someone who just learned how to play today. Hee-chan, you attacked Iceland and North America at the same time. That's a very daring move, Shi-chan impressed. Shi-chan is impressed. That makes the mark of great people is that they are daring and that they can follow through. You're already halfway there. Isn't that great, Hee-chan? That isn't enough though. Just potential isn't enough. There is no point to potential if you don't take the first step, and there's no point in that if you don't just keep going. I want to see it more. You're right, Shi-chan, but that's so demanding. Shizune leans forward, suddenly looking a lot less playful and more like a serious person. I expected her to be from the start. Hee-chan would like you to join the student council. She really doesn't waste any time, does she? But it's only my second day of school, so I'm hesitant about committing to something so early. I haven't even taken a look at any other clubs yet. But spending time with Shizune and Misha doesn't seem like something I would hate. I still need more time to think about it before I decide for sure. Maybe I'll get back to you on it. Okay, Hee-chan, but I hope you're not just saying that so we don't feel bad. No, really. Really? Hee-chan, if you're going to say that, you're saying that it is definitely the truth, and there can't be any mistaking it. I know. I guess I should have my revenge for losing at the very least. Shizune smiles at that in a mischievous way that feels like twisting the knife in the wound of my loss. I take a glance at the clock on the wall and realize I've spent longer playing Risk than I expected. Sorry, I think I have to go. I wanted to go to the library. It's not closed yet, is it? Shizune scratches her head and gestures at Misha. How hard could it be to determine whether the library is open? There's a clock, right? There on the wall. It should be open, unless the librarian is absent. I think you're right, Shi-chan. We think the library is open. It's on the second floor. Can't miss it. Do you want us to show you where it is? No thanks. It's okay. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. One flight of stairs up, and I run into problems. The second floor hallway is a carbon copy of the third floor one. Wide, of course, and plain, like only hallways can be. The problem is the library's whereabouts are not as easy determined as one would think. The classrooms are marked with signs stating which class they belong to, but then there is a plethora of other unmarked rooms. Is the library one of them, or is it just somewhere down the hallway? I bet on the latter, and choose my direction at random. After I turn around the corner, an unmarked door draws my attention because it's not closed. It's not open either, though just barely ajar, so that I can see it's open and nothing else. It would make sense for the library door to be inventively open, and while this one is not quite, that isn't good enough. At the very least, it means that someone is inside, and I can ask for directions to, no matter how embarrassing that is. I gingerly push on the center of the door with my fingertips, every muscle in my arm ready to pull back at a moment's notice. The feeling of being an outsider to this school can't be shaken from my mind so much that I instinctively fear doing something wrong by entering. The door slowly creaks as if groaning from a deep sleep, though as much easier to open than I'd anticipated. Leaning over and poking my head over further inside the gain slight sight of the room as fast as possible. The meek hello on my lips is quickly snatched away. This is not as I was expecting. I mindlessly let the door open and to its full extent, taking in the sight of the solitary figure taking center stage in the otherwise abandoned room. The situation steals my voice, leaving me standing at the doorway staring at the beautiful girl. Evidently having taken by her time to assess the situation, the girl gently puts down her teacup and opens her eyes, but doesn't look at me. Hello there? May I help you? Staring directly in front of her, the movement of her lips seems to break the silence rather than the words. However, it's the soft, measured voice that reminds me she's being separate from the room itself. Not only is she like the tallest girl I've ever laid eyes on, but even among the foreigners I've met, she's strikingly distinct. Oh, hi. Sorry for intruding. I was just kind of lost. She takes a moment to formulate a response before speaking. Every action she takes feels as if it's carefully choreographed beforehand. Care to take a seat? Unexpected, considering that I'm intruding upon her. Thanks. I slowly step towards another seat opposite of her, the girl resting the teacup and saucer on the wooden table in between. The way she doesn't track my movement with her head is telling that, and the slight cloudiness to her eyes means she must be at least partially blind like Kenji. Come to think of it, her voice doesn't have any detectable accent either. I guess she must be half Japanese. Accent, that would have been fuck. As I take my seat, her composure takes me slightly off guard. Her air of relaxed confidence makes the silence entirely comfortable. The calming atmosphere is so very different from the student council office. I take it you're a new student at Yamaku. Ah, yes, I just transferred in yesterday. I get the distinct feeling my speech patterns don't match the formality of hers, accounted by her restrained bow of greeting, one of which I hastened to match before realizing the futility of the action. I'm Lily Sato. Pleased to meet you. Hisao Nakai. She gives a nod before gesturing roughly in the direction of her teacup. Would you like, would you care for a drink? Sure. As much as it pains me, I can't keep step with her formality in the proceedings. She gives a kind nod, taking the request in stride. Without another word, she steps off the chair, prepares a second cup of tea from a collection of supplies laid out along a shelf. A brush here, a brush there, her left hand often lightly touching the side of whichever container she's pouring into. It seems to be process she's followed dozens of times before. As I lean sideways to see around her back, she seems to use her long, dainty fingers to measure the right amount of water in the cup. It's one thing to see that the different disabilities the students in my class have, but it's quite another to see how everyone seems to adapt. Shizune and Mashi have no problem working together to communicate to me, and Lily herself seems to have worked around for problems I've never thought of. While I feel slightly guilty about her doing the work, she seems pleased to be following the correct process of the preparing the drink. So, her soft voice brings me out of my silent observance. Which room are you looking for? It's not often that this classroom is visited after school. The school library. Shizune and me, some classmates told me it would be on this floor. She finishes pouring water into the teacup as she nods, a small metallic tapping coming from the teacup indicating it's being stirred. I'm aware of Miss Hamachi, as are most students. To be with them means you're in class 3-3, no? That's right, in the science room with Muto. She gives a small giggle before setting down the teaspoon and slowly walking towards the table, teacup and saucer in hand. She's quite a character. I imagine you'll come to like her. Most do. As she sets down the tea, I gently take it and have a sip. I'm really more of a coffee person, but this seems like a rather bad moment to bring it up. Nonetheless, the smallest quiet noise, quite nice, smells quite nice. I hardly think it'd be hard to choke down. There we fucking go. Thanks, Sato. It tastes really nice. She smiles and quickly waves her hand in front of her face. Lily, please. There's no need to be too formal. She says this in spirit of her exceedingly well-bred speech. Oh well. I guess I should try and ask her about herself, as it really does seem as if she's catering to me. So, which class are you from? I imagine it's one of the third-year classes. Correct. I'm in class 3-2, which is on the third floor, same as yours. It's taught by Miyagi, and is specifically for both blind and partially blind students. I see. Oh, sorry. I feel like slapping myself for the fox pass, looking at her face, though she doesn't seem in the least bit put off by it. My, there's no need to exchange your speech on my account. Sure. Sorry, I guess I'm really showing my newness here. An environment like this will be a big change, so I can't fault you for it. Well, the same can't be said for everyone. Many have come to term with this condition. A category which would include her, it seems all too ready to just ship from this particular topic. I see into another. Do you come here to drink tea often? It's a really nice place. Think on it. This might be her vision of the place behind my school that I like to have lunch at. I come here fairly often during lunchtime. My duty as class representative don't leave enough time for an official club, so a friend and I use this room for having tea. Class representative, huh? Compared to Shizune, her mannerism seems to be almost completely opposite. While Shizune is blunt and fiercely driven, Lily seems relaxed and calm, almost aloof. Come to think of it, she might be useful for a less biased view of social clubs. What kind of clubs are there to join? The more popular ones are the track and field club, which use the field near the school during lunchtime, the baseball club and the book club in a room near the library. There are also numerous small ones too, such as the art and music club. At the time when I'm just wanting to get on my feet, rushing into a club right away seems slightly unappealing. I wonder if this school shares the same rule as my old one. Is it compulsory to join a club? It isn't, though it is encouraged. Ah, good, that's a relief. I've really let down my guard around this girl. To let such things slip out, the fact seems to slightly amuse her. Not wanting my tea to get cold, I finally start drinking it as Lily does the same. As I look over the window, over her shoulder, I notice the light coming into the room is distinctly orange tint. Even here, time doesn't stand still. Time doesn't stand still. Huh, the time's gone quickly. Sorry. Oh, right, she's blind. Of course she can't see the sun setting. It just looks like the sun's starting to set. It seems to come as a surprise to her. I guess she must have lost track of time. Sorry, Haisa. I didn't mean to keep you from the library for so long. I quickly move to allay her concern. Oh, no, it's okay. The library's still open, isn't it? She pauses and takes a moment to think on it. It's probably something I should have asked Shizune when I had the chance, but Lily seems likely to know in any case. True, it's open until 6:30 during weekdays. A quick glance at my watch confirms that I have well enough time to get there. I might get going in that case. It's been nice talking with you, Lily. She smiles and gives a deep nod, her hands still neatly folded on the table in front of her. It was my pleasure. Oh, come to think of it, shall I show you where the library is? I couldn't possibly ask for more help. I should be able to find it all right. Well, unless my navigation skills fail me, which they seem to have a habit of doing. It's all right. I was going to be talking to the librarian there in any case. I could introduce you. This gets better and better. It's pretty hard to deny our offer. If you're sure, then that'd be great. Thanks. As she stands up and follows me, she takes hold of straight rectangular cane that had been slipped into the hand of her bag on the floor. Compared to the cane the boy in my class had, Lily looked much thinner and longer. His must be for support, where Lily's is for navigation. Together we have the peaceful room and the enter the empty room, the empty hallway on the way to the library. Side by side, my pace carefully slowed to match hers, so we slowly walked through the hallway. It doesn't take long for us to arrive at the door to the warm-looking room, apparently situated in the center of the floor rather than either wing. Ladies first? She gives an appreciative smile at the gesture, taking the lead as we file in. To the left, the wooden library contains counter, with the library proper being on the right. It is easily dwarfs my old school's library, with the distinct smell of old books giving the place an almost old world air. There don't seem to be a lot of students here. Considering the time, it isn't a big surprise. Everyone's probably either in the school grounds or the dorms. Yuko, are you here? She says it to thin air, since the librarian doesn't seem to be present, and of course Lily can't see this. What's unexpected is that the drawer's a reaction. Something from under the counter thuds against it, followed by a quiet wail. Ow! Apparently the librarian quickly crawls out and bounces up to extreme attention. Hi, Lily. How can I help you? Her voice is straightened in a failing attempt to sound casual, and she's rubbing the back of her head. Good afternoon. What happened just now? I heard a strange sound. It's nothing. I just hit my head. See, I dropped an eraser under my desk, and while I was looking for it, a pencil dropped, and then I was looking for both of them. You came and surprised me. Are you all right? I'm sorry. I couldn't know. It's okay. It's okay. Sorry for making you worry. There is nothing. I've had worse happen to me. She's quick to reverse Lily's apologies, almost frantically, trying to push aside the possibility that she could be in any way inconvenienced by bashing her head in on the counter. Yes, worse things have happened. He. Okay, you guys, give me a second here. Take my normal water break during the video. I'll be back right in a sec. Just give me 1 sec. Okay, that was starting to hurt my throat. Sorry about that. Yes, worse things have happened. The girl fidgets with her fingers as Lily doesn't seem to drop her concerns. A little shorter than Lily, repleted with glasses, freckles, and very troubled look, she seems to fit a library perfectly. Ah, Lily, did you get my message? Message? Oh, the 2 important books that arrive. Right. They finally came. I can't believe it. It took so long, but amidst her celebrations, partially for managing the change of topic, I'm sure she notices me from the corner of her eye, and freezing on the spot when she does. Oh, no, I'm sorry for not noticing you before. Did you need to check out a book or return one? I'm sorry. The way she can so quickly shift between moods is a little unsettling. He's with me, Yuko. This is Hayasao, a new student. Hi, Hisao. This is Yuko, the school's librarian. Pleased to meet you. Hisao. Right, Hisao. Pleased to meet you, Hisao. For a second, she visibly attempts to engrave the name in her mind so she won't forget. Yuko. Often arranged to import the foreign books in Braille for me. Would you like to tell Hisao a little something about the library, Lily? Please, Lily, I can't. I don't know what he could be interested in. This is too much responsibility. How it's any responsibility at all, I don't get it. But her objection is so sincere, I don't doubt for a second that she would rather have disemboweled herself on the spot than tell me how the light novels are. But, so, there are a lot of books in Braille here? I attempt to save the day by asking the first thing Yoku, oh fuck, what am I doing? Seems to not exactly relax, but at least took slightly less tense. Well, I think about 30 or 40 of Yamaka's library is either in Braille or I think about a third or a fourth of Yamaku's library is either in Braille or audio. Makes sense, given all the blind students that'd be here. If it's only that, then how come this library is so big in the first place? Well, we get a lot of new books regularly because the library is adequately endowed. That's probably why. They spend more on new books than on my salary, and then I have to organize and shelve all of them. It's too troublesome and they weigh so much. I wish I could quit this job. A very awkward silence follows the revolution of too much information. I'll go check the aisles then if you don't mind. It's probably best for all of us if she doesn't keep talking to me. Very well. Meanwhile, Yoku, I would have this book if it's all right with you. My first impression was right. The library is surprisingly big. Ambling down the narrow aisles, I study the spines of the books in random order, occasionally sliding one out to read the blurb, texting it with me if it looks good. In a few moments, I have a respectable stack of books in my arms. I guess I'll never be stuck for a choice in here. The normality of the library sinks in. Sure, there are large print and Braille books scattered throughout, but it is what it is, a library. It's as if the calm mood from the room I had tea with Lily and snuck with us in here, unless it was here to begin with. Something about this puts me at ease, and just like before, I reach the end of the aisle, find a collection of desks set up for study or personal reading. Going a little further through, I discover a nice quiet corner at the back. While the rest of the library has the old study sitting on the desk, other readers reading or stealthily sleep, and the back is pretty much deserted. As I glance around, I see someone who I recognize sitting in the front on one of the several bean bags. It's the dark-haired girl from my class, the one who snuck out of the classroom earlier. She's reading a book, keeping it close to her face, which makes her look like she's really into it. From the way she was acting today, I had her pegged as more of a delinquent than a bookworm. In fact, her mysterious disappearance from the class raises all sorts of whys in my head. Intrigue floats slowly but surely towards the surface, and before I know it, I'm walking toward the mysterious long-haired girl. I guess there's no harm in introducing myself, as if I would with anyone else. She's a classmate of mine, after all. Walking over to another beanbag, I take a seat and lay my book beside it. The girl starts looking scaredly up at me from underneath her fringe. This is the first time I've seen her this close. Underneath her long, dense bangs, I can see part of her face, at least a third of it, not a half, is pretty badly scared. Scarred, I meant. My eyes are immediately drawn to the scars, subconsciously peeking past her hair until they meet her own eyes. For a second I am shocked and diverted my eyes to look at the book in my hand, before I realized that looking away probably only makes it worse. It takes me 2 seconds to collect myself and remember what I walked up to her for. Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. It's okay. I think, you guys, that we might just leave off right here, because I think this is going to get interesting, and this is actually the girl that I'm going to be going for in this game. So I am going to save it here. Create a save and continue. You guys, that was another 40-minute episode. Oh god, I have so many of these fucking things stacked up now, it's unbelievable. I have this one, and I have 2 more right now, so this is number 4, I think, right now that we're on. I just posted number 1 today, and I recorded it yesterday, and I've been hooked on this game, so I've recorded about another 2 hours worth of it. So you can see down there 2 hours and 13 minutes, so I've recorded at least an hour and a half of this game. So yeah, I'm planning on making at least 1 more episode tonight, so yeah. Thank you guys for watching. You have been on the Hall of Anime. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you guys come back to watch again. Thank you. If you have any comments or anything regarding the game, just put them in the comments. I will probably have a link to the website where you can download the game, and thank you all for watching. See ya.